Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a or had a good day. Recording this towards at the nighttime today. Usually I like to do my morning recaps just after the market or just after I'm done trading basically, but due to work, I haven't been able to. So yesterday I recorded a video and when I played it and when I uploaded it on YouTube, it actually had no sound. It had sound for the first couple minutes, and then it had no sound at all. So that kind of sucked. I had to, I wasted about 45 minutes of, recording a 20-minute video and then uploading it and editing it and stuff, and then posting it and realizing there's no sound. So hopefully this one doesn't do this. Anyways, yesterday, so I'll do a recap of yesterday and today because both of these 2 days are kind of, on the opposite spectrum. So yesterday, the picture I have up right now is from my Twitter feed. I just want to let me take like 60 seconds here real quick and just kind of talk about something, guys. If you do watch my videos and you somewhat make it to the middle or to the end, usually I do ask people, if you're watching my video, I will appreciate if you just head over and subscribe to my channel. Again, my channel is not super fancy right now. I'm just kind of starting off. I'm just trying to document my journey as a trader and as a newbie trader. And it's it's time consuming just because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to make time for other things, but also post these videos. And hopefully my hope with this is that this helps you. If you're watching this and you're new as well, this kind of proves to you that everybody goes through the struggle that you might be going through, because I go through the same things. And this is also kind of like a pipeline for me down the road, because I want to have a massive video library from when I started to, if everything goes according to the plan, if when I become a successful trader, I want to be able to look back and say, hey, you know what, this is what I did, and these are the steps that I took to change my trading style and whatnot. So basically document my whole journey from beginning to when I become an advanced trader. So that's obviously the goal for everyone who starts trading, is to be able to be profitable on daily basis, and just overall make money, right? That's the end goal. So with me yesterday, going in Monday, I had a midday trade, which I usually don't do, but it was a long weekend in Canada. We had Thanksgiving, and so I was home. So I kind of woke up a bit late, so I didn't trade the market open. But in midday, I kind of was watching the markets, and there's a trade that was kind of lining up. And I can't remember what it was. I'm not gonna try to pull it up right now, but I basically lost 290. I think it was. I lost just because it was a midday trade. It was like a 70-cent stock, and I got in thinking that it'll take out the high of day, which was 90, and it was trending up midday. So I got in, and I got it first. I got in a bit late and a bit high, and it just kind of broke the trend, so I stopped out. So now I am taking, with my practice account, I am taking bigger sizes, just because I feel like I need to mentally prepare for that, of what the potential is. Because when I take small sizes, when I take 100 shares, 200 shares, it doesn't, even if I make a little money, or even if the trade goes well, if I have one bad trade, it wipes everything off. So my goal is now with the practice account is I need to be able to trade with bigger size and see what the true potential is if I stick to my strategy, if I stick to my plan. Because when I do make bigger gains, it helps me kind of balance out the days that I do lose. So this one trade right here, or yesterday I had three trades in total, and one was a mistake, which I still ended up making like 3 cents or something, because I shorted it mistakenly. Usually I don't play the short side. I like to play the long side right now. The shorting is something I want to do later down the road, but I want to have one thing down first, and then I'll focus on something else. So I traded ROKA right out of the market yesterday. That was my that was my biggest win for yesterday. ROKA 1650, and then CLSN I had $80. So the 80 basically covered my commission, and then the rest I took home. So it was nice. Again, it's a practice account, so money truly doesn't matter what I make in this. It's more about what I'm learning and what I'm basically doing. So let me just kind of hide that there. So yesterday ROKA was my trade of the day, and what happened was I basically played it. I'll go into the 1 minute chart because that's what I kind of go off of. ROK was a great trade. So I kind of started watching it right around here and before the market opened. I didn't really have anything else on the I think I had CLSN. Let me pull up my notes here. So this was yesterday. I did have ROK actually on my watch, but I kind of put it just before the market opened. And then I had VICL and SPEX, and both of them didn't really work out. So, and CLSN was another trade that I did yesterday, but it came about as the day went on. So ROK kind of, I started noticing it right here, low floater. People were talking about it in the chat room that I'm in. I'm in Trade Ideas chat room. It's a free chat room, so I go there every morning because I'm not paying for any chat rooms right now, just because I'm kind of focused on cut out all the noise. But I still like to be part of some chat room, and it's free, so I take advantage of it, just because they'll throw out some ideas or something will come up if none of the stuff from my watch list is working. And also I want to know if I am thinking of trading a stock, are other people looking at it, right? I don't want to just be getting into some chat room pump, because those people in the chat room usually are aware because they're part of other chat rooms or they have connections, and people would know that if somebody else is pumping the stock, so somebody will say something or whatever, right? So I just like to be there for knowledge. But today, once we talk about today's trade, we'll go a bit more in detail. But today, because sometimes when I'm in these chat rooms, a lot of trades, especially when the markets are hot, which is the case this week, a lot of names, a lot of tickers get thrown around, and I, as a new trader, I can't control it. So what ends up happening is I'll start jumping on random trades, and that's where the loss happened today. But let's focus on yesterday. Yesterday, ROK out of the markets. I got in basically right on this candle here. Usually, again, from my previous videos, you'll notice that I don't like to jump into the first candle. But with this one, was a little different just because it started trading or trending up just before the market opened. So about 30 minutes or so before it started coming up, and it didn't make a huge move. It wasn't a lot high volume. It wasn't like heavily traded in pre-market. It was just kind of starting to move. So I was like, okay, if I see a lot of volume come in and it breaks this high of day, I'll jump in. And I had my order ready. I jumped in at 135, but luckily I got failed at 117, and I don't know how that had happened. Although I'm trading on a practice account, it is linked with the live account, with the live market. So whatever happens, if I get to go in a price, it's only because that's a price that's being sold at, so I can buy at that price. So I think just because I got in as soon as the market was opening, and I saw a bunch of volume come in and a bunch of trades go through on the green side, I punched it, and I think I just got lucky and I got in at 117, so which was nice. Basically just at the below of this candle here, because I think it opened at 118. 118, pushed down to 115, and then I got in at 117, and it popped right up, got over 135, and so in my back of my head I was thinking I got in at 135 because that was my limit price, and as soon as I was in, it was already over 135. So I was like, okay, that's when I got in. But when I looked at after I was doing the yesterday's recap, I realized I got in at 117. So it popped up. So I kind of got lucky on this. I went in with 3,000 shares, low price. Again, I'm taking bigger size than what I would have been able to on my actual account, on my live account, just because I wouldn't have that buying power or the balance in the account. So with this one, I have 25,000, so I'm taking bigger size. So I took 3,000 shares. It pops over, and as soon as it got over 150, I had my order ready to sell at 151. And as soon as I see it come up to 149, 150, I hit it. I got filled instantly, and I was out. Right at the bat, I could have held a bit longer, but I took meat of the move. And again, if I would have even gotten at 135, my goal was to go for that break of 150, basically scalp it. The reason I wanted to scalp it, because I realized that I shouldn't be going in on the first candle. So if I am going to do it, I'm going to do it quick. I'm going to take 10-20 cents because it's moving that fast, and I'm going to get out. That's exactly what I did. So I was kind of happy that I kind of stuck to my rule and then got out. The good thing was, and then this is something else I noticed after, just because on my practice account, the Fantasy Stock Trader, the platform I'm using for my paper trading account, doesn't really offer a lot of tools like price line, draw, like trend line, and all that stuff. So on that, it doesn't also show the pre-market either. So if I'm watching that, and I only have one monitor right now, so I can't have all this up. Plus my quest trade is usually 15 minutes lagging, so it's behind 15 minutes because I don't have the live market data on it. So this starts basically popping up, and I'm out. When I noticed later was this candle was so beautiful because it pulled back right to that pre-market high 135, and that became support. And when that became support, this candle came up, and I took a second trade on it, and I went in with 2,000 shares, I believe it was, and I got in right at this 150, 156 mark, 155 marks, just above this candle. So I think 156 it was. And I think actually 153, I remember 153 is when I had, because I saw this candle coming up with volume and people were going back in, and I was like, you know what, this is a perfect 1 minute pullback or 1 minute setup. This candle should make a new high, so I'm going to jump in at 150. I did. It popped over. The next candle goes over. I sold 1,000 shares at 172, and I sold the rest at 189, I believe it was. Here, let me pull it up here. So let's see if I can see it. Yeah, 189 is when I got out. The thing was, I planned to sell it at 195 because that was the high of this candle. 196 was, so I tried getting out 195. I didn't get filled, so I ended up getting out at 189 just because I wanted to lock in my gains. Took a meat of the move, but as you guys can see, it continued to grind higher, went all the way up to 230. So I could have made, if I held this 1 minute, it was a perfect 1 minute setup, by the way. If I held this, it would have been a nice gain. But I was basically taking chunks of profit, and I was locking them in. So that was basically my big trade for the day yesterday, and then the second one was CLSN, and I'll quickly go over that as well, because then we'll be talking about it for today as well, because I traded it again today. Just remove all the drawing. Okay, so yesterday was this the 10th, yeah. So yesterday CLSN came up on my scanner. If you look at the daily on this, the reason why I traded it was because it was making this U-shaped breakout, and as you can see today, it continued that U-shaped breakout. So it was amazing today, but I kind of messed up on it today. So yesterday I was waiting for it to go over this 410 mark, which was the high of this candle, 410, the daily candle. And if you look at the intraday, as it got over 410 here, basically got over 410 right there, and it pulled back, and I jumped in around this candle right there on the 1 minute setup, held through this, and I basically sold. I got in at 401, and I sold at like 409, something like, because it wasn't when it got over in the 1 minute setup, it wasn't clean, it wasn't just moving up what I wanted to see, basically take out high of this 415 and just continue moving up. It got over 415, got up to like 418 something, and it started pulling back, so I ended up bailing out at 409. So it wasn't a big trade, but you know what, it was big enough to cover my, and I went in with 1,000 shares, so it covered my gains, my commissions for the day, and I was like, that's it, that's good. So that was basically my day yesterday. I ended it. I didn't take any more trades because I was in the green, and I wanted to preserve that. So today came, and this is what my P&L for today looks like. So as you can see, sorry, it's not a bit clear picture, but I'm down 620. So my daily gross profit was 540 with the $80 commissions, and I'm down 620. CLSN, I was down 90. LBIX, I was down a lot more than 180, and RGSE, I was down 270. So we'll go over these trades real quick here. So let's start with RGSE because that was my first trade of the day, and what I did on this was again, this was the pre-market. It was moving up, but as you can see, it wasn't like ROKA. It started moving up around 832. People already kind of pushed over. It already got over this 250 mark pre-market, so it was already a bit extended. So with this, I didn't jump in right out of the candle. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna jump in on the first candle just because it is a bit overextended. It's over this 250 mark. If it was, kind of hanging around here and it was coming up to break 250, I would have definitely jumped in for the break of $0.50 mark and then scalp it up to 260, 270. That would have been my ideal play. But since it got over this 250, I was like, you know what? Even if it goes over 266 at the open, it's already a bit too extended. I'm going to wait for a pullback on it.